Yo, how's your butt? I'm Pete. Today's video we're going to talk about Huckleberry, why you should be using it, why you probably aren't. But if it's your first time here, welcome in. And if you're back again, just hit that like and subscribe for daily Destiny 2 videos. We'll be getting into other content with other games here shortly. But today we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 again and Huckleberry. So during Iron Banner this past week, I actually started using Huckleberry again. I had to do an SMG bounty for Crucible, and I decided I was going to use it. And I'm like, hey, why did I stop using this gun? Why is it so good? And then I remembered one thing. Recluse happened. So even though Huckleberry was released in year one, it never really got its time to shine. There were things in year one like Vigilance Wing and Graviton Lance that kind of dominated the meta. And even if you want to go to an SMG, there was also the Antiope that had ridiculous range for an SMG. And really in year one of Destiny 2, there wasn't that much emphasis on primaries that were close quarters guns, like really say much for hand cannons or SMGs outside of probably just Antiope. Then that brings us to year 2 and Forsaken. We had all the new weapons that came with that, and then of course we had, like I mentioned earlier, Recluse, which totally dominated every single primary slot. Didn't matter what it was going to be used. Recluse. It was everywhere. Finally we're getting Recluse seen with the previous nerfs to Feeding Frenzy, things like that. Recluse usage is actually going down, but I still haven't seen Huckleberry going up. And this has actually been because something else has happened. 600 RPM ARs got a buff, so Huckleberry's niche is kind of taken up by something like a Gnawing Hunger. So realistically, in its whole lifespan since Huckleberry's been out, its kind of archetype has been dominated by these ridiculously OP or overpowered weapons like Recluse and Gnawing Hunger and Vigilance Wing and Graviton Lance. A lot of people have also kind of shied away from using exotics as primaries, especially in PvE, kind of since Vault of Glass and Destiny 1, when people kind of didn't realize that Gjallarhorn was going to be a really good thing. And ever since then, it's kind of been meta to use exotics that were heavies. But now, in our current meta that we've had for probably about the past year, even aside from Izanagi's Burden pre-reload nerf, there was most of the best DPS weapons were actually legendary weapons. See Falling Guillotine and Swarm of the Raven for some examples. So all of these things should actually be pointing towards, well, why aren't more people using Huckleberry? Well, there's even more on top of why people should actually be using Huckleberry. Back pre-Shadowkeep, there was a bunch of nerfs to all of the damage dealing perks or damage addition perks in Destiny 2's loot pool. This included Rampage, this included Kill Clip, Multi-Kill Clip, this included Master of Arms for Recluse, but Rampage actually didn't get nerfed for Huckleberry, and also Ride the Bull, which is Huckleberry's exotic perk, which actually speeds up how fast it fires, similar to what Breakneck, the legendary Gambit auto rifle, had. None of this got nerfed with Huckleberry. It all stayed the same. This has the old damage perks, the old damage values still in it in PvE, which is absolutely ridiculous. You can get 3 times the original 33% Rampage buff and get the speed up with every kill, and if you have the catalyst done with it, it actually refunds the entire magazine. So why aren't people using this ridiculously good? So we really should be using Huckleberry much more. It's shown that it's been immune to nerfs. It's actually been in the meta multiple times. It's pretty much the same archetype as a 600 RPM. I know it's a 750 SMG, but it has ridiculous range for what it is. And it's just a really good gun with really good perks, and it looks really cool. It's got a great animation as well. It performs stellar. It does everything it's supposed to do. So what's the real reason we're not actually using Huckleberry? The real reason we're not using Huckleberry is because it's an exotic primary that's not a hand cannon. And in Destiny 2, those are the only exotic primaries that get used. Thanks guys for watching the video. Like and subscribe for daily Destiny 2 videos. I'm Pete. You guys have a nice butt.